So Lian Li Lancool III, arguably the best case of 2022, but why is that? What's up guys, Vlad here and welcome to my channel, and let's get straight to the point. Why is this Lancool III here the best case of 2022? It is known that Lian Li produces high-quality cases, and Lancool III being their flagship model, it aims for the crown, the throne of the cases. So here we have a white RGB version of the Lancool III case. If you have seen the Lancool II, the design similarity is present here as well. So we have a window side panel with the bottom mesh doors as well, and of course the front mesh too. But guys, this case is so heavy, it's completely made out of steel and it weighs a massive 14.1 kilograms. It's 523 millimeters tall, 526 millimeters deep and 238 millimeters wide. Other than that, 4 millimeters thick glass panels on both sides. Yes, it has glass even on the back side. Maybe you are not a fan of this, but Lian Li has a solution even for this. I'll show you this later. But first, let's check out the case on all of its sides, and then we will check out the interior and the vast amount of features it has. Front side, mesh completely stretching from top to bottom, and these sides are literally handles for opening glass panels. You just pull this handle, flap thingy, and the glass pops open. It's a nice way to open a case without touching the glass, but eventually you will need to touch it to close it. The I/O panel is on top of the case and the Lian Li logo is in the lower part. Funny thing here is that you can remove the panel and reverse the I/O panel to be on the bottom side. It's a strange approach as it will surely block USB ports for USB flash drives, for example, but if you want, you can do it. And here you can see why I told you that Lian Li has a solution for the glass back panel. There are these compartments inside, metal doors to hide the cable mess, so you end up with a clean looking case from all sides. The only thing left visible are the SSD caddies. Behind the case, usual stuff. On top there is a screw to remove the top panel. You can see that there is a fan mounting place that accepts either 120 or 140mm fans, but only 120 can be moved up or down as it has rail slits. Case is a bit taller than your regular ATX cases, so it has 8 PCI covers. The PSU installation is done from outside with included bracket, which is toolless. And of course, underneath there is a removable dust filter for easy maintenance. Let's check out the interior. Pulling the front flaps gains access to the spacious interior. Glass panel is completely removable because it is using a hinge system, so removing it is super easy. Gently pull it up and remove it. Be careful with the front lever as it does not need any force, just so you don't break the little plastic thing that is used to open it. Gentle pull opens it without any fuss. The bottom chamber is a mesh as well, so once opened it reveals HDD cages. HDD cages have trays and you can also mount a tray on top of each. You do get 2 additional trays in the box, so a total of 4 hard drives can be mounted here. That would be 3.5-inch drives, but trays are also accepting 2.5-inch drives, so this means you can mount SSDs here as well. In total, this case lets you install 12 drives. The PSU shroud/bracket, or should we call it shracket, is divided in 3 separate parts. Each one can accept 2.5-inch drives to be installed on it, and you can simply run the cables through the holes in the back, which oddly don't have rubber grommets. Or you can install 3 120mm fans here or a 360mm radiator as well. The whole bracket can be moved about 2 cm in the front as well if for some reason you need that extra space. If doing so, you will be losing that much space in the front. The motherboard tray area is awesome. It can accept up to EA ATX sized boards without losing or blocking cable pass-through holes. Because this whole cable area is movable, so you don't lose cable hiding options even with larger boards. And of course, these holes do have rubber grommets. Here you can also mount water pumps and reservoirs. Top holes also don't have grommet inserts, which is again strange for this case. I personally would have loved if it did have them. In the front you have some 6 cm of clearance, which is further reduced if you move that PSU bracket in the front. But again, Lian Li has a solution for this as well. Front fan bracket is removable and repositionable as well. So again, if you move this bracket inside and you need that space in the front, you can move the front bracket and gain that space back. So decisions, options, you name it, this case does it all. GPU-wise, you have 42 cm of space for GPU monstrosities. CPU cooler clearance is up to 185mm, and in the rear it comes with a 140mm non-RGB fan, which is PWM. And as I mentioned, you can mount a 120mm fan here as well, which has rail slits. Front panel I/O is fairly simple, it has everything you need. Since this is a RGB version, it has color and mode RGB switches, headphone mic combo jack, reset button, big power button with white illumination on the sides, and it has two USB 3.0 ports and Type-C port as well. It's everything you need. Moving to the top panel, this is just one thick sheet of perforated metal, extremely high quality and super easy to remove. Just unscrew the thumb screw in the back and lift it up. By removing the top panel, we gain access to the awesome top bracket. And guys, this is how a top bracket should be done. Notice the rails on each side, which allows you to position the fans closer or further from the motherboard, or in the middle, or whichever way you like it. Here you can install 3 120 or 3 140mm fans or up to 420mm radiator. There is also a fill port hole cutout, but for the 420 rads to be installed here, the bracket needs to be inside the case, so not removed, and you insert the rad from the case and just screw it up top. No other way to mount it, but again, you can, so it's a big plus for the 420 rads. So front panel, right, removal, yank it and be done with it. It's all mesh, which also acts as a dust filter, so no worries there. As I said, the I/O panel can be moved in the bottom as well as the logo on top if you decide to do so. Maybe you are one of those people that like to keep the case on the floor as well. It's unholy, don't do it. Right, so remember that I told you that the front fan bracket can be repositioned, and so there is a screw on the side and one on the upper right corner. Remove them and press this lever up top to release it. It has these things on the side that helps it slide into the groove on the case, and speaking of, there are several positions for it. So you saw the regular one, but you can also move it deeper inside, or you can reverse mount it as well, both with it protruding a little bit on the front or sitting flush with the case. So that would be 4 ways to mount front fans, and while we are on the subject, it comes with 3 140mm PWM ARGB fans here. And these are quite nice fans, by the way. And now the infamous backside, which is also easily accessible with the front flap lever thingy. The glass panel is also held on the hinges, but Lian Li gave us these modular covers, so we can hide our cable mess and not worry about it at all. But once removed, there are a lot of goodies here. First of all, 2 SSD drive caddies, completely toolless installation. Then you can see that there is a bracket on the CPU cutout area. This bracket can be used to mount any additional fan controllers, and this bracket can also be positioned on the right side as well. As you can see, Velcro straps are present everywhere for better cable management. Here is where you can access screws for the front cable tray management repositioning. Bottom chamber is also mesh ventilated, but it hides 3 more SSD or 2.5-inch HDD drive places. You can remove this bracket if you don't want to use it, which will give you more ventilation in the bottom. The PSU area is limited, at least in my opinion, but you can remove one or both bottom HDD cages if you don't use them at all. Simple thumb screw and cage be gone. Just bear in mind that when you are finished with your cables, they can only pass at certain points on the covers. You will get a hang of it. Okay, with all that said, I think it is a really that good case, enough to take the throne of the best case of 2022. The modularity and versatility and literally ease of use is second to none. But hear this out, it's not even that expensive. I mean, for all of those features, you are looking at $149 for non-RGB and $169 for RGB models. Considering that some far worse cases cost the same and don't nearly offer this amount of features, this is really a no-brainer then. Temperatures, oh yes, this case easily gets to the top of the charts. Intel i9-12900K tested with an RTX 3080 Ti with 360 AIO from Deepcool. CPU was at 75 degrees max, which is awesome. The GPU never exceeded 68 degrees, as it has 3 120 fans pulling fresh air directly on it, so that price is once again justified. I don't know honestly what else to say, guys. I have no cons except maybe not having rubber grommets on all cable holes, but I can live with it. Oh, and you will also get this cool box for extra screws and accessories. It's a really nice touch, but that is not all. In here you have the very simple yet effective GPU sag prevent bracket, which I highly recommend that you install as it will keep your GPU straight. So there it is, this is the best case of 2022 so far. I will be doing a complete custom water cooling build in this case as well, so stay tuned for that video. Sub to the channel, like and share the video, and if you have any questions, type them down in the comments, hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one, or you will see me. Bye guys. Oh, wait, I forgot something. I did this video in this ultra wide format because most of you are watching on a phone that has a wider screen. Let me know what you think about it. Should I continue in this format or not? Thanks a lot and see you.